Right, Mizzou. We're preparing the live stream. Hold on. Please hold. No, come on, dude. All right, and once it goes live, all right, Coach. I'm gonna start recording. Well, and I'll have to cut that out.
Welcome to the Contagion Effect Show with your hosts, Mike Ellick and Eric Mello.
What up, Eric? How are you today?
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I'm doing well. I'm all healthy. Got my second vaccine dose.
Look at you. You're all set up.
There's nothing that there's no part of me that wants to go back to work. Like, I'm just so jealous of you being retired.
Yeah.
Being able to play on all the equipment and stuff.
Exactly. It's spending hours getting frustrated
and learning and being so positive and just turning this into something that's just crazy.
Yeah. And even this live, this is only the beginning. Obviously, we're going live here. But we will also have our podcast posting on Friday.
Absolutely.
We are excited to have our next guest. Our guest today, he is none other than, I know you all know him. His name's James Marzano. I call him the coach, right? Coach. So Mr. Marzano is driving for a little bit, and then I guess we'll have the pleasure of seeing him walk around, right, Coach?
Yeah, sure.
Once hopefully you have a good background or something in the house when you sit down.
Pine trees and overlooking the bluffs.
Oh, well, our camera just fell.
Okay.
All right.
No. I was coming in hot.
Yeah, exactly. He's drifting into his driveway right now. He's got the paddle shifters on the back of the steering wheel there. So Coach Marzano is joining. So do you live in Jackson?
I live actually up higher.
Oh, up higher.
Yeah,
so
I'm in Pioneer.
Oh, you're in Pioneer. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So the reason we had Coach Marzano is, I met him almost 2 years ago now, and we probably came across each other, on the football field when we were playing you guys back in the day. But I wanted to talk to you because, in talking to you and getting to know you, learned that you were in the military. And that happens to be one of the things we
love.
We appreciate you for your service.
Yeah, absolutely. We like to see the story of how and where and what you've been through to now what you're doing in the community by giving back. And like, that's basically, I get a lot of questions. Well, what's the Contagion Effect about? This, excuse me. It's reaching out and giving a platform for people to expand and explain their situation, because hopefully it could be the person that's listening in Germany who we've gotten, we have
the UK.
Yes. And we have those people that are downloading us there, and it gives them an insight of what we go through here and what our veterans go through. It's not all, good times and happy and rainbows and all that good stuff, but it's what we want. We want to bring truth and reality and realism. So Coach, welcome. Welcome. This is awesome.
Yes.
Thank you. It's an honor, you guys. I appreciate the opportunity.
Well, it's fun to have somebody, you're in Pioneer. I know it's a huge town, right? And now we get to take your story all over the world. So it's kind of cool, right? We're in Houston, another huge town, a little bit bigger than Pioneer, I think, but
just a little bit.
It's pretty cool what you can do here. And then now with this YouTube live, we can bring you to the world. So with that, Coach, where'd you grow up?
I'm originally from San Jose.
Okay, what part of San Jose are you from?
I'm back and forth from the east side to the west side.
Okay. Well, yeah. I grew up in Santa Clara, went to Cupertino High School for my freshman and sophomore years. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And a little safety named Ronnie Lott, his son actually went to high school right across town, Monte Vista, from us. So I got to play basketball with him once, which was cool.
Oh wow.
Everybody was all caught up on that. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So what high school did you go to?
What high school did I not go to?
Yeah. So it was multiple, huh?
Yeah, I definitely was not a model citizen or a model student. So
I
growing up, so
represent that comment.
yeah, I do as well. And it's I went to probably 4 or 5 high schools. I even went to
Oh
high
wow.
school down in Southern California for a little bit, but I didn't last that long.
Uh-oh. Well, I see with all the Bay Area repping you're doing, if you talked about Bay
What do you
Area.
mean? This guy's from everywhere.
I know.
Whoever he
Yeah.
supports, he's from Kansas
Dude,
City. He was from born and raised in Cincinnati.
Okay, we're
That's
gonna get you a
right,
bunch
go
of followers.
Bagel!
We're gonna get you a bunch of followers right now. Like you gotta go watch him on Facebook, and you can tell when football's on because he's
hilarious.
born and raised in whatever town.
Whatever town he's rooting for, man. He is
That's it.
100%, bro.
Except for you are a diehard Niners fan, right?
All day, every
Yeah.
day,
So is Eric. So is
from the
even
cradle
though,
to the grave.
Exactly.
even though I
Yeah.
don't know, I think you and Eric are following each other now. I think you saw Eric.
Yeah.
Eric was having fun
I had to
trolling.
troll, bro.
He
I
was
did.
trolling everybody. The minute Debo
Like-
got knocked out.
Well, it goes
oh,
back to
it's
that
over.
Kansas City
Oh,
game.
the
That Kansas City. I'm like, hey, congratulations, you're up 21-3. Game over,
yeah,
right?
Kansas City, congrats on going to the Super Bowl.
All these people just piled on. Oh, there's so much game left. And so I said, dude, it's karma. And then I had to do it whenever Debo got popped in the chest and he popped up. And yeah. All you gotta do is catch the freaking ball, bro. Center field. Dude, it's right there.
No, but according to all the quote unquote Niner
God.
fans, Jimmy G's the problem.
Dude.
I agree. I agree with that statement.
Yeah,
See,
that Jimmy
I
G's
don't-
the problem?
Yes.
Come on, bro. Like he had a good
Under pressure, he's not as good as we want him to be.
well,
No.
He's not. If he
I
can do his
think-
3-step drop and read, he's fine. But if it's the breakdown, if he has to go to third or fourth check down,
yeah,
that's when he does that. What do you do? Roll to the left, roll to the right, backhanded flip pass, goes
I
off of
think
the
this-
hands.
But
and
there was
game
a
over.
guy there. I mean,
Absolutely.
it was an amazing try. There was a
Right.
guy there. Again, I mean, you look at what's his name from the week before in Arizona when he did it with the Rams and it ended up in a pick six. But it just like I don't and here's the deal. I'm not a NFL fan anymore. I love college football. I live college football. Even though now that they're getting the NIL, which they deserve, I think. I struggle with the NFL. So, and I grew up a Niners fan. I'm a huge Dodger and Laker fan, but I grew up a Niners fan.
Yeah.
But we have a Houston kid on the Rams, so that's kind of our. I mean, he didn't go to Houston schools. He ended up going to Central.
That's a whole other story about Pop Warner.
Yeah, we do have a Houston kid. He went through our Pop Warner program, then unfortunately went to Central. But it was a good move for him because he ended up at Oregon and then now he's on the Rams. And unfortunately, he had an ACL tear. So and he plays tight end, and
they were down to their last tight end.
Blanton wasn't their last because he's second. So Johnny would have played a lot more once Higbee went down. So
yeah, a lot.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. So back to you.
Back to you. Now.
Yeah. So like 72 different high schools. Did you play sports in high school? Did you get a chance to?
I did.
You were a hoodlum, huh?
I was an extreme
He was a hood rat.
Oh, okay.
He was a hood rat, not a hoodlum.
I did play sports in high school and junior high. I wrestled, I played baseball, I played football, little junior high basketball until I realized I wasn't that good. And probably wouldn't ever be at 5'9".
Yeah.
Scrapper though, bro.
Yeah, they put me in the paint and you're getting an elbow.
Yeah.
Hey, I had a 5'7" son he was great defensively in basketball. Couldn't shoot for nothing, but he could play defense.
I played 1 year in 8th grade. I had more fouls than I had points.
Yeah. That's probably true.
So the rest of the mat was like, ooh, hey, why don't you bring your sneakers over here? Sorry, I had to digress.
You're good.
When you said wrestling, I get all excited. I'm a huge I'm a huge wrestler. I love the sport. It's the individuality within a team sport.
Yes, definitely.
So, and it's the ultimate mano a mano.
Right. No, I went to probably 5 or 6 high schools in the town of San Jose, and then I went to a school in SoCal. I was sent to Southern California to to kind of see if I could change things up, and that didn't last that long. Where we were living at, fighting every day on the way to school and back from school. I spent a lot of my youth years incarcerated in the youth facilities.
Wow.
Santa Clara County youth facilities. Yeah, a lot.
Okay.
Started at
go
13
ahead.
years old. No, you're good. Started at 13 years old.
Man. So what was your game? What was your just breaking into stuff? Yeah, the fighting.
Fighting. I definitely had. I never really was a stealer. I didn't like stealing from people. I kind of valued the code, so to speak.
Right.
I just was so angry at the world, because at that age you really don't know how to understand the cards that you were dealt.
Yeah.
So I hated everybody.
Yeah.
And at that time and at that age, I experienced what I thought was respect by just being a wild, crazy, knuckle up kid throwing hands, and everybody respected me and loved me, when that wasn't. I mean, you know, the older you get, you find out that's not the truth at all.
Right.
So,
well, and at least you did it in a time when there was a lot less guns. I mean, you do that now and somebody's just going to pull out a gun because they're, I mean, to say it, they're a bitch. And so then they go pull out a gun.
So eventually in 96, you graduate from high school, right? Was it 96?
Well, it was supposed to be 96. Yes.
Okay. Well, hey.
It was supposed to be 96. Yes. I did not graduate high school. I later on went and got my GED.
Okay.
Yeah, but you got it done.
Yeah.
That's right. I mean, I didn't even study. I was told, hey man, you can't deploy unless you have a GED. And I said, what? Nobody told me that.
Yeah.
So I think we were
take me now. Take me.
So we were like 2 months out, and I was like, well, where's the GED spot? So I just went down there, took the GED test, passed, and called it a day.
So sounds like you went into the military. That was the choice.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it was going to be other options.
That is very correct. I'll never forget. I believe I said I'll never forget, but I believe it was Department 45, Judge Jerome Brock, Santa Clara County Courthouse. I know his name, Jerome Brock, because he knew my parents.
Oh, there you
go. And he said that he can predict my future based on my parents, mom and dad, and where he sent them through their quote careers.
Oh.
And I was sitting on some charges, and he said, you bring me a signed recruitment letter, and we'll call it a day. And I said, where do I sign? I mean, I was sitting on some serious time, and the man saved my life, to be honest.
Wow.
Yeah.
The fact that he gave you the option, that's awesome.
Sure. And you would hear about that back in the days of military or prison. And I 2001, that time frame, that really wasn't the thing, but I was fortunate enough that, you know, the guy cared about my future.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what branch did you end up joining?
I initially joined the Marine Corps.
I love the thought process. Like, all right, this is gonna be good.
I initially joined the Marine Corps.
Okay.
I got $5. I got $5 that says he got in a fight, got kicked out. I got $5 on the table right now.
No, but there is a story. No, I joined the Marine Corps initially. Went through MEPS, had a leave date and everything, and my recruiter was my friend, and he just told me,
and you fought him. Great.
Deny. You know, he just said deny everything. Well, that didn't work. Lying is not good. So I had to get a discharge from the Marine Corps MEPS, and as I'm walking out, you know, there's Navy recruiter standing there, and he goes, "Hey man, what's up?" And I was all,
Looking for
I don't
a
know
home,
now.
bro.
I don't know
I'm a
now,
free
dude.
agent. I'm looking. Anybody want to
Unrestricted,
recruit me?
man. I'm in the transfer portal. Can we help
I'm
a
in
brother
the
out?
transfer portal.
I'm in the transfer. That's the new thing
Yeah,
now,
it
right?
is. You might get picked up by USC right now.
Right.
Yeah.
So I just handed him my paper and I was like, here, this is what you got to do. And he goes, oh, waiver. Let's go. I was like, okay, here we go.
Oh,
So,
wow.
Yeah, he was like, we'll take you. And
Bro, so you went from the Marines to the Navy. Dude, that was a step up, right? I mean, I love my Marines. My dad was a Marine. I'm not saying it's a step up and I don't want any Semper Fi Marines. I love y'all. Sure. But let's be real. It goes from, you guys having to feed yourself to catering. Like, let's be real.
Yes.
So you ended up in the Navy.
Well, yeah, I did. And I would have never changed it ever. My grandfather was a World War II Navy veteran. I mean, he was a heavyweight champion, Army, Navy, Marine Corps. He was a boxer.
Oh.
Like, I have Navy background, but I wanted to be the badass. You know what I mean? Join the Marine Corps and just eat crayons. And and I didn't know anything else. And then the Navy recruiter got me and he says, well, what do you want to do? And I said, I have no idea. He then said, well, these are the jobs. What do you do now? And at that time, I was in the electrical workers union, just doing material handler work, transferring supplies and stuff, job site to job site. And he goes, oh, so you do construction? I says, yeah, a little bit. So he introduced me to the Seabees and knew nothing about them. He goes, well, you can go run heavy equipment. You can be a welder, a plumber, a builder. And I said, well, I mean, I already know how to run a dozer and some equipment. Let's do that. Long story short, I joined the Navy, became a CB. Operating heavy equipment was my gig. And I loved it.
Nice. So no time on, did you spend time on a boat?
Never. CBs don't touch water.
Okay.
We're, well, I shouldn't say that. There some do, but I did not. We're the dirt sailors, so to speak, of the Navy.
All right. Well, that's fair. How did you feel about possibly going on a boat?
I really did not want to do it.
Okay. That's what's keeping Aiden wants to go to the military. Is like, we went and talked to the Navy and they're like, well, you're not guaranteed, but he's like, I don't want to go on a boat. I don't want to swim. I don't want to do any of that.
Well, I mean, you join the Navy, and that's the whole thing with the Navy boot camp. Like, it's based on the fleet side, the ship side, the water side. I mean,
did you go in Chicago?
Yeah, Great Lakes, Illinois. Yep.
All right.
And then if you become a CB and you check into your first command or your A school, the training after boot camp, they're like, hey, check this out. Everything you learned over there on the boat side, the ship side, forget about it.
You're on land now.
Yeah, they're like, put the little bell bottoms away. Here's your camis. Yeah.
You didn't have to wear all that white?
No, we would do it for an inspection maybe once a month, but we never touched them.
Right. So how did your family deal with you taking off? I mean, they probably thought this was heaven sent, maybe. Yeah. They
thought it was a blessing that, one, I was given the opportunity to not go to prison.
Yeah.
And that, when I say that the military saved my life, I mean it. And they knew it, and my family had no problem with me going. They thought it was perfect.
Nice.
Yeah, I needed to get out of where I was and get a little bit of structure and some discipline and some regimentedness, and kids that are going through hard times and troubled homes and no parents, they just need a little bit of guidance.
Right. And I'm sure you met a lot of guys, that may have been on the same path as you, right?
Oh,
I mean,
definitely,
there's all different types, right? That's the great thing about the military. Now,
Yeah.
where were you stationed? Like, what were some of your
I
deployments?
started doing boot camp in Great Lakes, and then my school, my training to be an equipment operator was in the butthole of the United States, Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. Worst place on the planet, if you ask me.
Uh,
Horrible place. And then I was stationed, my first duty station was Port Hueneme, California, down after Santa Barbara,
okay.
Southern California, Ventura area.
Okay, so like north of LA a little bit, northwest.
North of LA, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Right on the coast, Port Hueneme. It was a beautiful spot. You couldn't ask for anything better.
Yeah. Well, that's I mean, I haven't been to Missouri. Well, actually I have been to Missouri. Missouri is not the coast of California, especially the LA area. So I could see that.
Yeah, it was beautiful. Kids loved it. Great place.
So did you get married while you were in the military?
I did.
Okay.
I've known my wife since junior high school.
Oh wow.
Yeah, her uncle was my crime partner, so to speak.
Her uncle was.
Yeah, her uncle was. We're the same age.
Okay.
And she comes from a large Hispanic family, so a lot of the aunts and uncles are close to the same ages.
Right.
And yeah, I've known my wife since junior high.
Okay.
And
so not even a high school sweetheart, a junior high sweetheart.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't
going against all the odds.
Yeah, we weren't necessarily vibing each other like that.
You just knew each other
back then. Yeah, we just knew of each other. Like I'd be over at the house and she'd be the young girl running around or doing dishes, or like I wasn't even paying attention to her at that time. Yeah.
It's funny how things change when you're 15 and looking at 13-year-olds. It's like, oh, that's not even right. Now it's like you find a 2-year younger. I mean, my wife's 2 years younger, so yeah, it's not such a big deal anymore.
Right, for sure. No, we got married, and we'll be married this year. 20 years.
Yeah, you better get it right.
Awesome.
You better get it right.
Congrats to that.
She's watching and listening.
Thank you. Yeah. She knows that my brain and my memory is shot. I mean,
so she'll give you a pass.
At least I'm praying she will. But yeah, 20 years this year. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's for awesome. Sure.
So did you? Oh, go ahead.
No, just because she's been an amazing woman. I don't know of any women that can do what she's done and sit through what she's sat through. And you know, military spouses, men and women, are a different breed.
Yeah, you have to watch them leave, worry about them. I mean,
for sure,
and go on and
I
run the day-to-days.
Exactly.
Run the day-to-days, man.
So while you were in, it sounds like you had some kids too, or at least one.
Yes.
Okay.
No, I had. Well, while I was in, we had one. And while I was transitioning, we had another. I did have an older daughter from a previous relationship. Right. She's 24. And she had a son who, at the time we got married, 5 to 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just, what do they call it? The ready-made family, or
yeah.
I
don't know the correct term. Yeah.
I like ready-made. You guys were ready. It's the Brady Bunch, right? Bringing it all together without the bunch yet.
Yeah, it was good. And maybe I brought her down to SoCal. Once I checked in, first command, I said, hey, by the way, I think about 6 months it was, I gotta leave. Here's a new city. Here's a military base. Here's a new kid. Here's a new kid.
Here you go.
Yeah. See you later.
Deuces.
Luckily, we weren't like 12 states away. You know what I mean? She could
Right.
drive up and down the highway back to her mom's or her family's, or they could come up or down or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's good. Yeah. I mean, you're talking 5-6 hours away. So that's not
Right.
not bad. Not thousands of miles.
Yeah. No,
So
I went to Okinawa. The battalion went to Okinawa. A couple groups would go other places. I also got to go to an island behind Catalina. I don't know if you're familiar with the Channel Islands down there. San Clemente Island.
Okay.
It's sometimes known for it being Phase 3 Buds Camp. Buds Camp is a basic underwater demolition. SEALs go there for Phase 3.
Oh, that's cool.
The island's also a MAROPS, Marine Operations. They from what I was told, they train dolphins to detect underwater mines or something like that.
I'm sure they do.
Sure
they do. Who knows nowadays?
Yeah.
That's
so
you go on those whale watching out there. You see dolphins with GoPros on them. You're like, oh, that one must have got away from the Navy or something.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a pretty good little island, man. I liked it a lot. Spent 6 months over there and came back. Seabees would stay home 6 to 8 months, some 12 months, and then deploy again. They would be on rotation with other CB battalions across wherever the world.
Everybody. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what was your highest rank?
E4.
E4.
Yeah, I would fluctuate back and forth. Remember I told you there was a story?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, here we go.
I'm not gonna go too deep into it, but
if it's good,
the reason.
You need to.
Yeah, it's the reason why I don't drink anymore. Alcohol and myself just don't get along.
And other people.
All right.
And other people. Right? Yeah. So I would gain rank, lose rank, gain rank, lose rank. I mean,
that was basically like punishment.
Yeah,
they float that over you.
Yeah, depending on how severe or how much of an example they wanted to make of you.
Right.
They'd either hit you hard with the punishment and a reduction in rank, reduction in pay. It was put you on restriction for 90 days, 120 days, whatever the case may be. Wow. But yeah.
So then, because I like food, so you got, I mean, you weren't really restricted on bad food? Or what kind of food did you guys have?
No, when I was on restriction, I was in Guam.
Okay.
And again, that was another detachment. They sent me to the other side of the island. Well, unfortunately, because of my actions, I had to come back to the main group. The food while I was not on restriction was amazing because we were staying on the Air Force base. I'm talking steak and eggs, steak and lobster, like biscuits and gravy. I mean, the Air Force's food is top notch.
So no MREs or
that's literally what I was thinking.
I know.
No MREs.
Well, when
well, no, it's not normally, but when he was on the other side of the island, probably throw him
when he's in trouble. Here's your food.
Go count the pebbles on the north side.
And you know what, dude? They would, if depending on who was in charge of you for that day, they would make you mop the steps outside in the middle of a tsunami, bro. Go mop the front in the rain. What are you talking about?
What am I even gonna accomplish here? You'll figure it out.
So you make it through. You make it through. What made you end your career?
I blew an ACL.
Okay.
Blew an ACL. I blew a bunch. ACL, MCL. It was already messed up from football and just tearing it up, and the military said, hey, you're no longer an asset
Yeah.
to your country. You're now a burden.
Thanks, but hey,
yeah,
here's your papers.
See you later, buddy. Go deal with the VA. So having 4 surgeries, you know, in 13 months, I think it was.
Wow.
Wow.
It didn't give me enough time to rehab and get better. And the civilians that are in charge of the med boards, my opinion, don't really care, no matter how much you plead to not.
Well, they don't understand.
Don't take what I love away from me. And they said, well, you're not healed. You can't do this. You can't do that. You're going to have to go. So it came home, and that's okay. God, in my view of things now, looking back, you know, God has a plan. Always, no matter what. And I don't regret anything I've done or that has happened to me, because I wouldn't be where I am today doing what I do with the youth. I wouldn't be living where I live. I wouldn't be coaching where I coach. I wouldn't be anything. So I'm okay with taking what life throws at me.
Yeah.
Right.
So when you, I don't want to say graduated, but when you got out, did you know you were moving up to the hills? Is that where you,
I did.
When you first came out?
No, that was a struggle, bro. Trying to figure out. I found I loved the military.
Yeah.
I was the poster child for my battalion. You could see all my evals, and like I would get amazing evals. You could shave in my boots. You could cut creases or cut carrots with my creases. I loved it. So becoming a civilian was tough. And I did the only thing that I knew, went right back to San Jose. And brought the wife and kids back to San Jose, hopped into another union job, running equipment, working at the quarry, you know, 12 hours a day.
Yeah.
And just had enough of that.
Yeah.
After I think about a year and a half, and we moved up to Elk Grove. We bought our house in Elk Grove and did pretty good.
Now, did you use your VA loan to buy that house in Elk Grove?
I sure did.
Nice.
Because that's one of our big things.
That was my next question. My next question was going to be, did you take advantage of all the, so we had Sheriff Jeff Dirksey of the Stanislaus County last week, and he had said something along the lines of, I don't feel that the benefits of the VA, that he was fine when he got out. He was cool. He was okay. He didn't feel that,
he didn't feel the need to go
to
and
take
get
him, right? There's somebody else that needed him.
Yeah, he felt like he was
like he was
taken
taken from somebody else.
Yeah.
So my question is, did you take advantage of all the programs that were available? Whenever did you sign up for the VA? Did you go through all that? But obviously with the knee and all that kind of already started the ball, right?
Real quick, you know, adding on to that, does the knee fall under like being while you were in service?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm getting benefits for that?
I do. I'm service connected.
Good. That's and we're not trying to dig too deep.
Yeah, we're again, our podcast is getting veterans in here and
awareness,
letting them know, hey, there's programs, and even if you feel like you need it or not, it's there, and you put your life out there, right? I don't care if you were island, if you were mainland, if you're away, if you fought, if you did, you enlisted, you put your life out there. Okay. At some point you could have gotten sent to the next level of humanity. Right.
Right.
That's what we're trying to do. We're not trying to pry. We're just trying to let people know, hey, we're going to ask these questions because I want you guys who've been in the service to take advantage of them, because we put in, we want you guys to get what you guys deserve.
Exactly.
Is what. So that's the only reason.
And, you know, you're not, I know we all think we're old, but you're not an old guy. So knowing that you're getting, you know, some back, right, of what you deserve, it may not be everything, but you're getting some back. We just want more veterans to know, because there's other guys that got hurt and they didn't do anything.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's why we asked. So it's not, we're definitely not trying to pry. It's just making sure people are taking advantage of what's due to them.
I totally appreciate that, and I understand what you're saying. At first, being fresh out, and being the type of person that I am, not to say that people are like me, but I know men have a sense of pride, and the
Yeah.
question that you're asking is a valid question, because I at first was like, nah, man, yeah, I'm still hurt, I'm limping, I'm barely getting in and out of the equipment, I'm screwing my body up, this and that. But at the end of the day, it took an old veteran that was in the Union, an OG, like I think like a Vietnam vet. And God bless those OGs. They're the ones that paved the way for us.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And he pulled me aside and he schooled me. He was like, look, dude, you're a fool if you don't take advantage of the benefits that you earned. And
Yeah.
at first it took me a while, because in my head, that's like getting food stamps. That's like collecting welfare. I'm not doing that. Who the hell? I'm not doing that. I'm not taking a free handout. Well, and then I come home and I see I got mouths to feed, and bills to pay. And here I am, not the same person physically I was going in, coming out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did take advantage of my benefits.
Good.
And that's why we asked, is we want to make sure everybody knows, because we didn't talk this deep into this beforehand, right? So we're learning this as we go. And if you weren't, then now we're going to help you go take advantage of it. And we're hoping that your message, because I don't think you're alone in the way you're thinking. I think first off, you're coming out of the service, you're a proud guy. I think most men and women are going to feel that way, like, oh, I don't want to do that. And I think the sheriff said it beautifully last week in saying, I didn't want to do it because I didn't want to take away from somebody else that needed it.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, wait a minute, you're not taking away from everybody. It's all there for you. And we need to make sure our veterans get it over some of the other people that are getting it, because these other people didn't do anything for this country. You did something, regardless of what job you did. It's respected, it's appreciated, all that. So sorry to get on a high horse on that one.
No,
So
you got your house in Elk Grove.
Yes.
And so where's the journey go there now?
The journey was great. So at that time, I still hadn't received my financial benefits yet. That takes forever and 36 years.
Yes, it takes a while.
So I was smart and didn't, at that time, everybody was jumping into these big loans. And again, I listened to my elders very much, and I ear hustle quite well. So I didn't jump. So I didn't jump into a loan extremely big. So I was able to rob Peter to pay Paul in order to pay, I think, like my mortgage and my bills. Well, then the market hit, the economy hit, everything took a dump, and I started struggling. My benefits weren't here yet. I'm fighting with the VA about the VA, to talk to the VA. Can't you just look over to the cubicle on the VA loan guy and say, hey, you know what I mean? Like, doesn't it work that way?
We did it with my dad. Trust me. We went around. It's not easy, and that's why we push everybody.
Yeah. So long story short, I got foreclosed on. So I lost that house, and another veteran friend of mine had told me about the Wounded Warrior Project, and I was talking to the Wounded Warrior. I listened to your guys' podcast a few ago, and I heard the gentleman speaking.
Nino,
and I was like, wow, bro. So he told me about the Wounded Warrior Project. The Wounded Warrior Project told me about another organization, and I don't tell people this, but this other organization, Operation Homefront, Tim McGraw is kind of their guy, like their face. It's called Homes on the Home Front. If you meet a certain criteria, they give you a home. And
I wonder if that's what Nino, because that's how Nino ended up in Houston. He was at Walter Reed, and they said, "Hey, we got a house, for you." Yeah, it's in Houston,
you don't know where the hell
California.
it's at. It's barely a dot.
Yeah,
It's the light blue dot on the map. There, you know?
Right.
So you get offered a home, and where is that home?
In Pioneer, California. And I was like, where the hell is that
at? Yeah.
And it just
you like snow?
So, yeah. Well, geez, this year, oh my gosh. You like your power being out?
Yeah.
Generator.
But what was funny was all the time that we were in Elk Grove, this is again a testament to God has a plan, in my opinion. All the time we were in Elk Grove, we fell in love with Lake Amador and Pardee and Silver. And, we would always come up there and camp and hang out, not knowing what the heck was going to happen down the road. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I just, I don't know.
Wow. So you end up in Pioneer thanks to Homes on the Home Front.
Right.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So you're now in Pioneer. How do you get into coaching? How do you get it? And by the way, it's football coaching. So how do you get into football coaching?
Oh, I've always been a coach of some sort.
Okay.
Like I said, I came from a family of boxers. So I used to do a little bit of boxing coaching and hanging around the gym with my kids. And there was a time that I wanted to try out to be on the Navy boxing team. So I would do a little boxing coaching and then I would do a little bit of youth football coaching in Elk Grove or San Jose or even back in Port Hueneme, but nothing serious. I came across a friend of the family and I don't even know how to say it. He just started showing me how to do things. And I really idolized. I really respected this man and how he just touched the kids and transformed the youth and the love that he showed the kids. And I kind of just wanted to, I hate to say be like him, but I wanted to touch kids' lives the way he did. And I felt it was because I didn't have anybody touching my life, changing my life around at that age. I felt I had done enough damage growing up. I think I need to start re-earning my ticket through them pearly gates, start re-earning my ticket and giving back to the community that I took from so much.
Right. So how did you, it sounds like the fighting thing kind of went through the Navy a little bit still. How did you flip that switch? Because, I know we all get fired up, right? Even on the football field, we get fired up as coaches. How did you flip the switch to not get to that point anymore?
I don't know. I really don't know. I know I think maturity maybe.
Okay. And that's fair.
Legit waking up like, yo, this is stupid. I got to figure out how to control my anger and my hatred towards everybody for no reason.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, what is this stemming from? And counseling, like I don't have a problem with admitting the mental health issue and talking to a counselor. Like,
I think
that stuff works.
That's part of our show too, is talking about like men's health, mental health, because I went through a little bout of some stuff, and I kind of went through a lot of the same as you. I didn't probably get as much trouble as you, but literally wanted to fight everybody. I think when I'm driving, I still probably want to fight everybody, but
I'm just glad I'm not like that.
yeah, I'm glad you're not like that.
As a truck driver, I'm just, we have what we call trucker traps.
Yeah, it's funny to talk on the phone with him while he's driving. So.
I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm going to say something right now. We haven't even talked about it. I think I need to go through a little. I think I need to go see someone, because there's times, and this is we're going to get to this point of, we're all dads and we all want best for our kids.
Right.
I struggle every day. Like, I struggle every single day. I have a 22 and a 17-year-old and a wife, and it's like, I struggle, and I think that's another thing that we're trying to do is it's okay to have emotions. And like you said, it's that ego thing of, I'm a man, I'm tough. Like, it just gets to a point where that's cool, but you're going to lose everybody at some point.
Yeah.
I'll guarantee it. If you become an asshole, which we can say that word. If you become an asshole and stay an asshole, like, you're going to lose a lot of people in your entire life, and like I said, like, I'm not, now that I've put it out there in the world saying that I need to go to therapy, I'm going to have to follow up on it, because I think that being 47 years old, I'm at that point,
Yeah.
So,
I started the anxiety classes because it's anxiety works in different ways,
Dude.
Right? And that's what gets you.
Yeah.
That's what gets you to that point of wanting to explode. And I have a problem every day. I mean, I'm going through this stuff, and I'm a pretty smart guy. I can deal with this, and it's still pissing me the F off. And I'm like, and my wife she's like, just walk away from it. Just walk away from it for a minute. And of course, then that pride thing comes in. I ain't walking away. I'm going to beat it. It's not going to beat me. Right. So,
so you move up to Pioneer, and you now at that point you have kids in middle school, elementary, going into middle school. How did you get involved with the middle school?
Yeah. So I think Michael was in 6th grade and Jimmy was in 3rd grade.
Okay.
And my daughter, I believe, was in kindergarten. So elementary school.
So you're going to be a football family. You're going up there. You guys are going to do the thing.
Yeah.
You're giving back.
I reached out, bro, before we even moved up there to
Amador.
I
called it. I knew it.
Was that Tim Swisher? Was it Tim Swisher?
Yeah, bro. It was. Because if you Google Amador County, bro, the only thing that came up was the Amador Junior Buffaloes. Yeah.
That's where the money's at, right?
Right.
That's where the money is, of course.
How is the money there when Jackson has the freaking casino? Like, come on.
No, that's that's like Google. That's like Google and hitting Central Catholic.
Well, look at Amador's field versus Argonaut's field.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Argonaut's field's gotten a little bit better, and I guess we're gonna get to see it this year, right?
Dude, I want to jump into that so bad, man.
We're about to have turf on both fields now. So
snap.
Yeah.
I don't even want I'm like, dude, the high school just hired a freaking professional and I hate saying ex, but a professional football player to be their head coach.
Yeah.
And he's a Raider, though.
Dude.
He's a Raider.
But he is wearing Ronnie Lott's old jersey number. See, I'll go with the jersey number. Hey, it's a 42. Yeah,
right.
That's he's been on the staff, though, right?
Well, so I did a little back history on it. He was at Christian Brothers. He was at Christian Brothers, and then he went to damn it, it's right there.
Cordova, wasn't it?
See, am I messing it up? I thought it was Christian Brothers.
I just want some insight. Are you guys still running that offense so we know for next year?
Yeah. Hey, can you send a playbook up here?
Nor deny.
Just send a playbook.
You won a state championship, so why would you? I know you're a super fan of that offense.
No, I love it.
Yeah. Not trying to get you in trouble. Since you still are on the staff, we're not trying to get coach in trouble. So we need to talk about that for a second. So you've been coaching at the high school, right?
Yes,
at Argonaut High School.
Yes,
and you did play Houston and lost, but apparently there was 11 players down due to COVID.
Yeah, I knew that was gonna.
I gotta throw it in. You did beat the team we lost to in the playoffs to win the section, and then you guys did win the state. So congrats on that. I am not taking that away, man. That's a badass accomplishment for coaches, for the kids. I know you all worked hard. It'll be fun to hopefully play you guys. Well, I'm sure we are playing, but we'll be up on your turf, so that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
We were bummed. Aiden and I were bummed to not see you that night.
Yeah.
So
I was bummed too.
We were out for COVID, so I was in the hospital. But yeah, so you guys won a state championship, right? Division it was 6A, right?
6AA.
AA, okay. I know it was 6. So state champs, the Argonaut Mustangs. Take us through that journey real quick. How was that? I mean, we all know this season was kind of crazy, especially those first, like the preseason, because nobody knew that you were seeing a full team or not, or who you had playing.
Right. It was definitely crazy because you were coming off not just everything you just said, but you were coming off that little micro season that the state gave us, where
that was only 4 or 5 months away. It wasn't a normal.
Well, you practiced for like, what was it, 7 months or something?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. We held like practices for like 7 months, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we get 5 or 6 games. And
you don't know who you're playing because nobody
don't know who you're playing. It was crazy. I'm just so grateful as an assistant coach that the athletic director and the head coach did such an amazing job for our student athletes.
It's awesome.
Countless hours of no sleep with those guys. Coach Davis and Coach Hunkins, our athletic director, really busted their ass to make sure that our student athletes had something. We because of all the COVID stuff, we did our best to create a bubble,
right,
to one, be fair to the other schools that we were hopefully going to play.
Mm-hmm.
Our program and our head coach and our athletic director just did a phenomenal job to keep these kids playing, which at the end of the day, that's what it was all about.
Yeah.
That's what the whole argument with the governor and
let them play move. Yep.
Yeah, to let them play. Like, I was at the freaking Capitol every time, bro.
Yes, you were. Yes, you were. I can say I watched those videos.
Like, that's at the end of the day, that's what it was about. As long as the kids get to play.
Yep.
So just a little bit to kind of pile on the game there. Quartz Hill had 2 buses, 56 players.
Yeah,
Argonaut had 30.
And what was the size
30.
of Quartz Hill? They had 1,800 students or something. It was something crazy.
No, it was like,
or 2,000,
3,200, I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I mean,
3,200. Quartz Hill had 3,200. Everyone else.
You guys are like 600.
Yeah.
No, 500.
532 is what Argonaut has. They beat Liberty Ranch 1,200, Livingston 1,200, Rosemont 1,200, a private school in Petaluma 220, and then 3,200.
It makes you wonder what CIF is thinking. I mean,
and here's
that's
the best
competitive
part.
equity, bro.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Here's the best part. The fourth quarter of the championship game was a running clock.
Yeah.
47-14.
Just wow.
Yeah, no, that's insane. Real quick, I know. Coach Davis, who had been there for 20 something years.
Yeah.
He knew he was done. He was stepping down. How awesome is that?
What way to go out.
Yeah. How awesome is that to be? I mean, literally the first championship in your high school, and you're like, hey, this is the group that I'm doing it with, and just went out and got it done.
Yeah.
That's just remarkable.
Mm-hmm.
It is. I mean, talk about like the Cinderella story for the retirement on the state, the state ship. Like, that man has legit given up his life for the last 20 something years to dedicate, to the kids in that program and that school and what it's about and the courage to compete and the motto and everything.
Yeah.
Well, and
it's crazy.
I don't think people understand, especially in these smaller communities. If a coach, he went through years that weren't great, right? And you go through those years. I mean, in a small community, that is hard. Like, you're lifted up in a great year, but on a bad year, it's you're in trouble, and everybody sees you.
Yeah, for sure. And the saying goes, I mean, if you know that it's a saying, they love you when you're winning, they hate you when you're losing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I had an opportunity to experience the whole postseason state championship run with my older son as well when he went to Amador. So his freshman year, he played varsity ball, and that's when they went to
I remember that
championship in Southern California.
Mm-hmm.
And that team was about it. Like, they were ballers. But being a transplant from the big city, so to speak, up the hill, I slowly began to find out that Argonaut was a successful football / athletic school, and Amador was, well, this was the vibe. This was the talk on the street. Argonaut was the athletic school. Amador was the
prissy, preppy, upscale.
Yeah, academic.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant to say. That's what I meant to say. Sorry. That's what I meant to say.
Prissy, preppy,
no,
academic.
Amador. But then we
no
get
disrespect, Amador. No, yeah. ContagionEffectShow.com / comments, and I get it. I just kidding with y'all.
And then we get there, and here they are in the state championship, in Southern California. Like, what I was trying to say is the rumors aren't true. It's really, in my opinion, it's the kids. If you have a group of kids that come through that are ballers, that have played together since they were kids, that group of Amador State Championship boys were Coach Chuck Martin's kids. And Chuck Martin coached Junior Buffaloes, and he had them from Mighty Mites all the way up. Well, guess what Argonaut State Championship kids were?
Yeah,
same thing.
They played together since Mighty Mites, you know what I mean, all the way up. So it's, I don't believe in the, that school's that and that school's the other. It's just the luck of the round of athletes that you get.
Well, I think especially for us smaller schools and smaller towns, right? We're going to go through sequences of, you have groups that are good and groups that, maybe are not as talented. It's just going to happen.
Yeah.
Right. And that's why, we spoke about it a little bit, but MVFL, Eric and I started talking because we were in TVYFL, which we were not fans of. I will talk all the smack in the world about that organization. But we started looking at it, and we had a year where Escalon and Ripon left, and we were like, oh wait, now we're just playing all the Modesto schools. We're Little Old Houston playing Central Catholic, playing Bayer, playing Grigori, all these these feeder to those high schools. How do we have a chance? And by the way, these are the kids that our kids aren't going to play them in high school almost at all, right? Whether it's preseason. So we started talking first to Escalon and Ripon and said, hey, if we can get the mountain teams, like talking Sonora, Argonaut, Amador, Bret Hart, all them, if we can, or AMA, whatever they want to be called.
I was just going to correct.
I know. And Tuolumne. Sorry, Ryan Wynn. I got to mention you too. And Tuolumne.
Coach Wynn.
Yeah, I love him. So we got those Escalon and Ripon, and that's where we had the meeting of all the Valley teams, and we said, hey, let's put a league together and see if we can get the mountain teams to come in, because they only play themselves. all year.
Right.
That's not going to be fun.
Right.
And ended up having a good meeting with Jeff Scott and Lance and, back in the day. And we ended up making it happen. So, you're talking to two of the OGs of, I helped. Eric unfortunately retired like right when we started. So I was part of writing the original bylaws. I'm a little disappointed in where the league's gone since then. My wife wrote all the original rules for cheer, which they've changed now too. But yeah, it was like, you speak of like when you're talking small town, we go through things. I remember my 21-year-old, we played Argonaut, and the coach at the time put it on us like 40. I mean, you guys, they were just big and we were small, and just put it on us. And Derek, who the pizza guy, if you listen to that show, he was our head coach, and he's like, oh, I told that Argonaut coach he's getting it back. And then they had a good team the next year and they smoked. So he's like, I don't like doing that, but if you're going to put it on me and you're a running team and you start throwing it up once you're up by 40, like that's just not right.
With being able to,
I remember.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was going to kind of transition from that into, if someone does follow you on your page or whatnot, they'll notice a very heavy presence of Polynesian support. Right?
Yes.
Yes. And I literally have right here in front of me the 2022 Polynesian Bowl, the National Middle School Combine and Showcase, April 30th and May 1st. It's a 7-on-7 scouting combine, Mission Viejo. Right. So is that something that you're going to be a part of? Are you going to have a team go down there, and you guys going to compete down there?
No, I'm not going to have a team come down there. What that is that's the youth combine, and what they do. I've been blessed to be able to come down there and help with the Polynesian Bowl combine. And that's from working with one of the founders of the Polynesian Bowl at his other camps and tournaments that he does.
Is that Men in Trenches?
Yeah. So I work for Jesse Sapolu, Men in the Trenches,
number
Northern
61.
California.
Number 61 for your San Francisco.
Four-time Super Bowl champ.
Super Bowl champ.
That's when I was a fan, is back then. So I know exactly who he was.
Yeah, Jesse.
Yeah. I work for him in his Northern California camp.
MITT, right?
MITT, MIT, short for Men in the Trenches. There's a Southern California and a Northern California camp academy. Before COVID, I think it was a 16-week academy for just linemen. Jesse got sick of all these 7-on-7 academies and skill academies and quarterback academies, and the linemen kind of just sat through the off season. Now everybody and their mama's running a lineman camp, but that's a different conversation. So Jesse created Men in the Trenches and his curriculum, and his curriculum is by far the best. Offensive, defensive line, tight ends, and linebackers as well. Because when you play for teams like Argonaut, your tight ends are blockers.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been a blessing to work for him. And then he an umbrella off of that is super lineman. So the Jesse Sapolu super lineman tournament is regional, sectional, and national. All the top linemen throughout the state battle it out with one-on-ones. And they then go to, I don't know where it'll be this year, but last year it was in Costa Mesa for the national super lineman tournament. people would put together renegade squads of linemen, you know, kind of
Mhm.
Houston, Argonaut, Ripon. You kind of just pick
Put
and
a whole
peck,
crew together. Yeah.
just put a crew together and go down there and mash. Or, you know, you would be going up against your Boscos, your
Your
Matter
Pittsburgh,
Days,
Pittsburgh
your
with that mean old line
Pittsburghs.
they had.
Yeah, yeah. I was actually at the one where the Northern California boys, primarily Pittsburgh, took home the trophy.
That was a big
That
line.
mean line, yeah.
Yeah, that was a oof.
So yeah, I've been fortunate enough to work for Jesse and Coach Samu. When I mentioned earlier regarding a man whom I respect very, very much, he's actually the defensive line coach for Pittsburgh High School.
Is that Coach Samu? Okay, and that's
Yeah.
Jesse's brother, right?
No,
Or-
they're not
okay.
related, but they're very close. They might as well. I'm sure somewhere back in the lineage of the islands of Samoa.
That's Coach Samu's the one that never wears shoes. Like he always kicks his flip flops off a minute into the training. Like every time you see him, it could be 30 degrees out. That dude's shorts, no shoes.
That's right. He likes to be one with Mother Earth.
That's so. How did you get involved with them?
I actually, my nephew was a highly sought after recruit out of the Bay Area. He was at Kennedy High School in Richmond.
Okay.
Ernie Timoteo Jr. He was actually a Samoan running back.
Hmm.
People say Samoans are supposed to be linemen. Well, he was a pretty good running back coming out of Kennedy and Richmond,
Patterson
California.
had some mean dudes.
Yeah.
Patterson back in the day had some mean dudes.
Franklin, I think.
Oh yeah.
Well, Franklin got in trouble. Franklin got in trouble.
They had the straight pipeline going on there for a minute.
Yeah. It's sad to say that a lot of these schools want to open that Polynesian pipeline. But if their heart is in the right place, that's great.
Yeah. That's the problem.
But don't just try to bring, you know,
Size.
Don't try to just bring Polynesian kids to your program for wins.
Yeah.
Like, change the kid's life.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I noticed on your page. And I noticed that I didn't mean to talk you over. You're sorry.
You're all right.
I see that's you have that because your upbringing and where you came from. So just, you know, me personally, I appreciate that because a lot of people say, well, what's he doing it for? There's got to be a payoff for him. There's got to be. It really doesn't, man. Good people can be good people. You know,
you gotta watch this. Like I've had the pleasure of watching this dude, meeting him in person, watching him out at camp. I mean, my son wasn't. He's 5'8", like, and he's a lineman.
Yeah,
he's never gonna be the biggest lineman. He's never. But this dude, Coach Samu, I mean, they show love. They lift these kids up. We got the opportunity to go to a training, and you know, it was my son learned a lot, right? So. I've watched him in person, you know, personally putting some love on all the kids, making sure they're having fun and they're learning and, you know, pushing them, be your best. So I've gotten to see it personally. So I appreciate that too, Coach. That's why I knew we needed to talk to you. That's why I brought you up to Eric. Like, dude, we got to talk to this dude.
I appreciate the words, brother. It's, I try to give the kids what I did not have, and now as an adult see that that's what I needed, if that makes any sense at all.
Well, I think you have a perfect story to say because you can, or share with them, because you can say, look, I did this and look at now, I have the opportunity to help mentor you and turn you into a man. Like I had to do it the hard way. I can help you do it the easy way.
Right. Yeah. I didn't have a mother or a father. I mean, I had them. I'm here for somehow, but both my
physically there.
Both my parents were convicts, incarcerated all the time. So, you know, I out of the womb, I was a ward of the court in Santa Clara County. So I was in and out of foster care and group homes. And finally, I know I didn't touch on this, but I finally was adopted by a Samoan family.
Okay. So that's where, because I see the Usos, and it's you're very much understanding what's going on. So you had it goes beyond a few years working with MITT and so you can tell you have a connection.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I was adopted by a Samoan family, and we actually just buried our mom January 2nd.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry to hear that.
She was the first woman, and I don't mean that the other women that were pivotal roles in my life weren't first women at other things. But Mama Lau was the first woman to really show me what a mom was, what a wife was to her husband, what a mom was to us kids, her kids, what an auntie was to her nieces and nephews. I never really got to see that in its entirety growing up, and to see a righteous household, was something that I needed. But it didn't stop me and reverse me right away from being a jackass juvenile delinquent either. You
had to grow up. You had to grow up
for
and
sure.
see it. And
yeah.
I think we're all learning more now at the age we are than we ever could learn when we were, 20, 25 years ago.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but that's where my original connection to Polynesian Samoan community is.
Okay.
I was adopted by a Samoan family.
Okay.
But my nephew was a running back and recruited. He recruited from Purdue, Hawaii, Syracuse, all kinds of big schools. Ended up at Sac State because the recruiting process is tough.
Yep.
It's hard to understand and work around.
Well, especially when you're talking 18-year-old kids and, parents that may not have the, understanding of the whole process.
Yeah, 100%.
And you're
100%.
told so many things, right? I mean, these poor kids are told, and now you throw NIL into it, and now it's like, wow, I couldn't imagine the process now.
Yeah, what? Pittsburgh's quarterback, just first high school kid to sign a contract, right? For his likelihood.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I think it was for 5-digit contract.
Still for an 18-year-old, I mean, we all can't be Kobe's and LeBron straight out of high school, right?
Right.
Football, it's all different.
Well, yeah. I mean, your body takes such a beating. So
it's crazy.
Wow.
But yeah, Samu is the one. Coach Samu from Pittsburgh is the one that kind of took my nephew under his wing and helped him through the recruiting process. And I met him through my nephew's path through recruiting. And we just vibed, we clicked, like we're brothers. I would die for him, and hopefully he would say the same for me.
I think, you know what, watching him out there with the kids and the prayer before and everything he does, I mean, he would die for the kids. So I know he'd die for you too.
100%.
Seeing that man out there it's especially when it's, like I said, that one in where were we, Vacaville or Vallejo. And I mean, it was like 40 degrees and this dude's out there in shorts and no shoes and just chilling, So, you were in one of the Bay Area ones? Yeah, we went to it was the man, I want to say it was at Vacaville Christian.
Yeah, that was that was the National Preps Combine.
Yeah, that was National Preps.
Yeah,
yes, right. It was National Prep because Lineman Win Games was there.
Yes,
but
right.
Coach Samu was there, so I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah,
because there's one dude from Lineman Win Games that shows a lot of love to the kids. Some of the other ones are a little more just I'm here to coach, but I don't know them well, and we're not in SAC all the time, so I don't want to say anything.
I would never speak badly on Coach Osterhout. that whole crew is amazing at what they do.
No,
but
they are good. They're
again,
good.
most of them are college coaches, so
Mhm.
they're working with adults, quote adults, rather than kids. So
No,
that's
that
I
makes
see what you're
sense.
saying.
Now that you're saying that makes ultimate sense of
Right.
how there's definitely a different demeanor.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it's bad. It's different from what you see when you see Coach Samu running everything versus when that other crew is running everything.
Right.
Definitely a
Yeah,
different
100%.
demeanor.
100%.
So
Yeah, Coach Sam was a good dude.
he was awesome to watch. So anything you want to talk about? Like is there any camps that the men in the trenches have coming up?
We're still, as everybody knows, the 49ers season unfortunately has just ended, and Jesse works for the 49ers, so he's been busy.
Right.
So we're waiting for meetings and dates and all of that stuff to happen. So we're hoping that a date is going to pop up here shortly. Within the month of February is when we're planning. I don't want to put a date out there, but we're working on it.
Okay.
And now that the OG has time to focus on other things, because the Polynesian Bowl, the game was just 2 weeks ago, and then the 49ers in the postseason, so he was a busy man.
Right. Okay. Are you guys gonna? I know you have the ability to maybe throw a little word out there to get something local again.
We've been talking about it.
Okay.
Don't be surprised if you hear of a Foothills mitt.
Okay. I'm good
Valley
with that.
mitt.
Let us know.
And let me know, Coach.
Yeah.
I can help. I can help out.
Yeah, let us know.
Not with coaching. I don't want to do none of that, but I can help for setup and all that stuff.
A setup, maybe a live podcast up north.
Oh yeah. That would be dope.
Yeah, out at the camp.
We could
that would be fun.
Podcast out there, interview some kids, give them the whole entire environment that they're striving to get to, right? I mean, that'd basically
be dope. Yes.
Yeah. We could definitely do something like that.
Yeah, we could do, meet with a couple kids and talk to them for a few minutes.
I would kind of, if the owner of the camp would come by and sit down, chit chat a little bit too, just
maybe we could set it up. Maybe we could set it up on a day the OG's there.
Dude, there you go.
Just throwing it out there. Okay.
Just come to the Bay Area, man. Yeah.
Hey, you know what?
Hey, we will.
You know what? We could do that. We can do that.
What's great is our little podcast machine goes everywhere. It's all good. So we can be mobile.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's what's up.
All right. So you guys are working on things. So watch out.
Yes.
Is there any pages we need to follow? Like Men in Trenches? Men in Trenches have.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Facebook for some reason screwed our
Uh-oh. We lost you.
Call. Are you there?
There we go.
Sorry about that.
That's all good.
Unfortunately, Facebook screwed our Men in the Trenches NorCal page up, but we do have one on Instagram.
Okay.
It's Mitt NorCal.
MITT NorCal, right?
MITT_NorCal.
Okay.
Yeah. And
then about that underscore.
Yep.
But if you search like Google Men in the Trenches or any of that stuff, it'll come up.
Okay.
Yeah, SapoloInTheTrenches.com. Forward, it'll get you to the MITT NorCal page.
Right. It's
they have a couple locations. They have opening day is that's 2021. Damn it, I'm stuck.
Yeah, I don't think they have anything.
Yeah, I think you just said that. I was listening. I was. I swear to God,
you were looking at the screen.
I swear to God.
Yeah, everything.
I'm just so excited. I got a laptop for like the second show in a row, so I'm like, oh, you over here? Oh shit! Oh, what did I do? Oh,
he's over there googling everything.
Yeah.
Well, I have like 4 screens going, so I can't really concentrate.
He's the he's the IT guy.
So,
you're the tech guy.
Well, I'm just faking it, but
I'm just
we're
here
doing
for
our
best.
Isn't that what we all do? Fake it till you make it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Even
you
once
don't even know.
Even once we're in our 40s.
Yeah.
That's why I had to retire. I'm like, you know what? I want to retire, just do some real estate, do a podcast with one of my best friends in the world.
Yeah.
And talk about talk about veterans, talk about men's health. I appreciate you bringing that up, though.
Yeah.
That was it's great. You brought up a lot of important points that we like to highlight. So I hope people took away from that, because you know, you meet this guy, like, show your hand. You can see your hand, right? You're all tatted up. I love it. I love all the color.
Yeah.
Right. Your legs, you're all sleeved up. So, you know, it's guys that quote unquote look like that, and we still need some love, right? We still need some help once in a while.
Bro, I suffer from depression. Like, it's real. It's men's health is so important. And you're hitting it on the head. Like, if we don't talk about it and bring awareness to it, we're just going to continue to hold our pride and be like, fuck that, excuse my language. Fuck that. Good. That's for sissies. I don't need that shit. I don't need to talk to nobody. But also, I'm just now learning at 40 something, 3 or 4, you're showing your kids, whether you're boys or your girls who are gonna possibly go on and be with boys, men, you're showing them bad habits. You know what I mean? Mental health is real, bro.
Yeah.
Well, and I need you to look back on where you started and where you're at. Like, I need you to see that for yourself, right? Like, look at it. Look at where you came. And that's exactly, like, Eric was meeting with somebody through email, talking to somebody, and one of his comments was just beautiful. And like, we like talking to people who maybe had smaller beginnings and now are doing big things.
Yeah.
And you got to look at yours in perspective and say, yeah, we're not saying what you did was small, but think about it. Think about what you were doing. Think about, you know, somebody looked at you funny. Now, man, my fists are up. I'm ready to go. Let's throw. Right. And now you can walk past that moment. You can show your sons, you can show other people's sons, you can show your daughters, other people's daughters, that we don't have to act like that. And that we're in touch with ourselves, and we're trying to be, right? We're trying to be better people every day. And our journeys to lift people up, like try to lift, you know, especially, and I don't want to say especially men, but we know there's a need, because sometimes, you know, we're supposed to be the tough ones, and we got to get through it.
Right. Yeah. That's beautifully said. And that's kind of how I go into coaching. And mind you, I'm not this amazing coach that has done this for years. I'm still learning, and I learn from Samu. Like, you teach, you go into it coaching the whole kid, the mental, the physical, the spiritual, the emotional, you know, that's the most important.
No, it's gonna be beautiful. So any other parting words before we go? Because we've been talking to you a while, man, and you're like stuck in your vehicle, because if your wife's home, she's like, what the hell is he doing? Why is he just sitting on the car?
Bro. No, I don't have anything to say. I'm just grateful that you guys invited me to come on here. When you told me that you guys had your podcast and what your mission was, and I kind of went and listened to a bunch of past podcasts, and I was like, wow, these guys are onto something. So I greatly appreciate you having me on as a guest, and I wish you two nothing but success, because my experience today tells me that you guys are needed.
Appreciate that.
We appreciate that.
Thank you,
dude. And Eric, I got to tell you, Coach was hitting me up on, you know, we were going back and forth on Messenger. By the way, we can use the phone numbers now. We don't have to use Messenger. We're on that basis now. But he was hitting me up. He's like, bro, that episode was fire. Like, you know, and it was Nino's episode. Yeah. So it's great to hear that. And I think, you know, that's something you need to hear, is hear, you know, somebody else's journey that maybe they didn't go the same exact path, but you see that they went, you know, kind of the same path. You know, they mirrored your path a little bit. You know, his injury was, you know, more than any of us have faced. and the way he's turned it. And yes, I know he works for the Seahawks, but we still got a lot of love for him.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to, like, NFL honors, like he might be on there. He has a chance of winning that Salute to Service award. So I mean, he is going against, he's going against Arthur Black or Blank and George Kittle, but you know, it's hopefully, you know, I think he's done some amazing things. He lifted up female veterans. Yeah. So I hope the NFL looks at that stuff.
That's awesome. Yeah, he was amazing episode, and even the other episodes I listened to the one about the kid with the Sousa Pacific.
Yeah.
You guys are doing an amazing job. I think it's and that's my kids hate it, but I'm a AM radio / podcast guy because I'm always in the car. You know what I mean?
Radio, huh? Man, you're old.
So I'm always trying to find stuff to listen to. So yeah. You guys are doing great.
Appreciate that.
Thank you.
And thanks for the love already posting it,
coming on,
because that's one of the things we need. So thank you for your time, Coach James Marzano. And I'm hoping Aiden gets to play in next year's game, which shouldn't be a problem. And that we get to come give you a hug and enjoy that game together.
I hope so. You got an amazing kid. He's a little baller, man.
Well, we'll see. He's got to put in work.
Of course, we all do.
Yeah, he's been trying to go to the gym at like 6 a.m. now, so we'll see how long that lasts.
Nice.
Not bad for a 16-year-old.
Nope. He's got a good head on his shoulders. Wow. Normally other 16-year-old social media pages are crazy, bro. You got a kid with a good head on his shoulder.
all my kids got told, your social media, like, we don't track, we don't do any, we try to have trust, and they all get told, remember who you're representing, yourself, your family. If you act stupid on social media, you're gonna it's gonna follow you forever. So
that's exactly right.
All right, sir. Well, we appreciate you. We appreciate your time and service. Eric, you have anything else?
That's it, man. Appreciate you.
All right, Coach.
Good dialogue.
I appreciate you guys.
We'll be
Thank you very
talking.
much.
All right.